And welcome back. Everyone involved in this game understands the intention. Give Delaware a chance to experience a big-time college football atmosphere for the Nittany Lions. Everyone on the roster be ready for some valuable playing time if it comes to that. These aren't always the most competitive matchups, guys, but can be of significant value early in a season.
Well, Todd, thanks. And really what we're looking at this week is we're going to take a look at some things from last week's game, because at the end of the day, you want to have some things to coach on film, and you want to be able as a head coach to go in and say, hey, you guys think you're good? Well, let's talk about some things you need to improve on. A lot of positives offensively. Quarterback play, we talked about 0 turnovers. Wide receivers made plays. Let's go to some things that would concern you if you were a head coach as you look at the tape. Third downs and red zone was not good enough. Lots of pressure on the QB, which we'll talk about. And tight end, only 1 catch. Running backs, only 2 catches in the pass game. So those are some things that they'll probably be looking at. So let's talk about a little bit on the defensive side now. Positives, really good on 3rd and 4th downs, Tom.
Absolutely.
Tough versus the pass. It concerns interior versus the run game. Carter and Robinson, production, got to be more than they got. And defense didn't get any turnovers either, Tom.
And that's going to be, you got to get the turnovers. You know that. That's the battle you want to win.
Yep. So let's take a look at a little bit of the good news, bad news. As you look at the good news is Allard looks really good moving around, avoiding pressure, getting the ball downfield for some big plays. The bad news, Tom, and we'll look at this, is that he had to move around. Too much pressure, a lot of chances for them to get to him and hit him. But here's the big play of the game early in the first drive. They've got max protection here. He's got to come off this thing, move, keep his eyes downfield. And how important is that, Tom?
Well, that makes it tough on the defense, as you know. And the one thing that I think that he was able to do, by doing that, he allowed himself to get that ball downfield here. And is great. He looked like a tremendous vision to me. On the field.
And that's not easy to teach with young kids.
No.
So let's talk a bit about concern on defense, the interior run game. West Virginia, really veteran offensive line. Penn State's defensive line was highly touted as well, but they were able to get to the next level, get guys moved, pick off blitzes, and get it.
Well, that's one of the things we talked about in the show. This center is an excellent football player. This is the strength of their offense, was the offensive line coming in.
And you can see right off the bat, there's a little bit of surge there on the right side. They get downfield, next level. They're going to have to shore that up a little bit defensively. Now, let's talk about some things Allard did that you may not have noticed. Here's a set where they've got 2 tight ends, balanced set, and they're going to choice the run to either side. It's all on him to make that choice. Here he makes the right choice. Now, again, no big runs over 14 yards. Singleton's one-on-one secondary, that's something that in the future he's got to make that guy miss.
And I think that's going to happen, because I think he's a heck of a football player, and he will have his opportunities, and he'll make a miss more than they'll get him.
So let's talk about the situations on defense. 5-man pressures, 4th and 7 here. They were great on 4th downs and 3rd downs, and they take away the easy throw, Tom.
There's nowhere to go with the ball here. These guys did a great job locking down the receivers.
Another real positive with Penn State offensively, they found a way to get the ball to the wide receivers against the blitz with some different things. Here's a nice easy throw and catch, easy read, and then the receiver makes a great play.
Well, that's what you said it right there. The whole thing sets up. He sees it. He can tell the read. There's no one in center field. He knows what he's got right now. It's 4 across the board.
Great presence downfield to get those blocks and get that out there. Let's talk quickly about Delaware. A really good offensive football team. 559 yards last week against Stony Brook. Obviously not Penn State's defense, but they do present the pass and the run. Good running back here in Marcus Yarns, but too many turnovers last week.
Exactly. That's the one thing. They cannot have turnovers this week against Penn State, but they've got some skill on this football team. Delaware plays good football, better than a lot of people think.
Yeah, if you look at, they beat Navy last year.
Correct.
A couple years ago, they went to Pitt and only lost by 3. So they've played some FBS teams and done really well, and it's a proud program, which we'll talk about in the last segment. Speaking of proud, always proud to be on this show with you.
Oh, that's too much. I'm blushing. Thanks, fellas. All right, what an opportunity for Delaware's players to come to Happy Valley. I'm sure they've been looking forward to this road trip for a long time. And for a bunch of the Blue Hens, it's a chance to play in their home state. Here's some video of the team's opening game victory over Stony Brook. That you mentioned, they racked up over 500 yards of offense in front of a crowd of just over 11,000 in New York. Going to be a much different environment for the guys in Beaver Stadium. There's a total of 27 players on the Delaware roster from the Keystone State, most notably 3 of their 4 captains. Senior defensive lineman Ethan Saunders from Waynesboro, senior offensive lineman Brock Gingrich coverage from Cocalico High School and senior linebacker Dylan Traynor, who played at LaSalle College High School in Philly. Up next, our Impact interview with Big Ten Saturday Night coordinating producer Matt Marvin. Why NBC hired two of the best field generals in Penn State history to anchor their coverage. Nittany Game Week returns after this.